Hey, what is up, guys? We are back. We are back live on Wednesday night. What is going on, everybody? I'm Jason C. Welcome back to the show. Somebody said in the chat while I was reading it that it's even like after a week, it still feels like it's longer than that. And I felt like that. I felt that way last week when I missed it. So yeah. Yeah, it definitely. I don't know. Every time I miss a week of streaming, it's weird. I don't know. I feel that. So glad to be back. Welcome everybody to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room live on a Whiskey Wednesday night. If it's your first time here, I'm Jason C. Thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, hit that like button while you're hanging out here if you haven't already done. If you haven't already done that, it definitely helps the channel, helps people find the channel as we work our way to 100,000 subscribers here in 2025. So. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that's awesome. Jose Sanchez is going to be wearing Mash and Drum during yard work. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it's okay, Adam. We're good. Yeah, we got the entire lineup of Stagg we're going to be trying tonight. And this is interesting because the only one I was able to try last year was the 24A. And I think that was the only one I got to try. I just don't. When Stagg drops in Ohio, it's crazy because it just everybody goes crazy for it. People line up, for hours. They bounce to different stores. It's a true tater experience. If you've never experienced the tater experience, it's yeah. Jacob Pours is here. What's up? Jacob Pours is working. I hope I can make your work night or work day go a little faster, buddy. So to have all these, big thanks to one of my patrons for sending these in. Huge, very, very generous since I haven't been able to have any of these. So I thought it'd be really cool to put all four of these against my favorite batch of all time, which is batch 12. So we'll see, because I'm getting the indication that, or people keep saying that Stagg is somehow falling off a little bit. And while I don't really believe that, I think it's just a matter of batches being better than other batches. But I'm curious how the 2024 lineup does against batch 12, because I really wasn't able to do that. So we're going to go through all of that. We'll do that blind tasting a little bit later. We have a few new bottles to crack open here tonight, couple samples, and then we will dive into all things, all the news, what's been going on with me as far as what I did today, picking a couple of buffalo turkey barrels. So we're ready to go. So I see people already have their favorites for the Staggs in the chat, it looks like. But yeah, again, so welcome here, welcome back. Can't wait to get into this tonight. So here we go. I'm going to first, obviously, as always, start off by saying hi to all of you. Welcome into the chat, Mr. EJ. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and Mrs. EJ are doing all right. Randall Erickson is here. Cheers to all you beautiful bourbon people. Love it. Andrew Bergstrom is here. I've got 24A and 24C, and 24C is my favorite. 22A is my favorite of the recent batches. Okay. Holding out and searching for a 2024 GTS, though. Yeah, that thing is a beast. It's awesome. Truman, what's up? Warren Smith is here with the Stagg boys. That's right. Sandeep Chima, nice to see you as always. John Farron is here. We have Adam Hess. We got Cool Running. William Wiley, what's going on in Atlanta or Georgia? You're not in Atlanta, are you, William? I don't think you're in Atlanta. I know you're in Georgia, though. JG is here. 4-Leaf Whiskey. Listen, Stacy's counting down. She's counting down the days to St. Patty's Day in 5 days. That's right. Maybe next week we'll do a little bit of a St. Patty's Day. Have a little fun stream and have a little Irish whiskey. But I also do want to go into what I'm going to be doing for kind of the March Madness thing during the live stream. This will be a lot of fun. Mike Daly is here. What's going on? David Voth. What is everyone's favorite Irish beer? Isaac Camacho is here. Russ L. We got Mary S in the house. What's up, Mary? David Voth is here. Hope you had a good trip. Yep, nice quick trip to Denver, Colorado. Always nice to go out there. Beautiful, beautiful city. Abe Rod is here. Robert W. Randall Erickson is here. Andrew Bowes Wine Guy in the house. We got Mike Fertini. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Sipping on the Driftless Glen Rye from MD. Outstanding. Sitting in my screen porch on a beautiful Wednesday evening west of Indianapolis. 67 degrees. The weather's getting beauteous. Gotta love it. Cheers all. JD Coy Hill in the Glen tonight. Oh, Dr. Sped. He's like, it's not hot enough. I got to drink some Coy Hill. Truman has a Sagamore 9 in the Glen. Very, very good. Any guesses on the Staggs? I have no clue. So that's what's kind of cool that I haven't tasted these, because I'm just going to taste these straight up, give you guys my honest opinion on what I think of them, and we'll see which one wins. I've gotten so many messages since I posted the live earlier about which batch everybody likes, and the answers are all over the map. People like A the best, people like D the best, people like C the best. The one that hasn't really come up a lot is B. So I'm wondering if B isn't really a favorite of folks. So we'll see how it goes. We got Joey B in the house, Larry 3R, Slapshot is here. What's up, Slapshot? Nice to see you, man. Matt Baytosh sipping on Weller 12. Weller 12 is always a nice little sit back, relax, just enjoy some bourbon type of sipper. The problem with Weller 12 is you can't compare it to like anything with high proof because it'll just die. But if that's all you're drinking on your own, Weller 12, it's a hell of a sipper. So Sandeep Cheem says, I think 24D has heard from other tasters. Okay, Sandeep. Sean Ortega is here. What's up, Sean? Let's see. Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiast here. What's up, Buffalo? Maurizio Pastanes is here. Cheers, everyone. Whiskey Wednesday. Ben Drammond in the house. What's going on, dude? Nice to see you as always. Jacob Pours is here. Excited for this one. We got Steven Stasiakis here. Let's get going. Whiskey Nose. It's about damn time you went live, slacker. You know, man, why don't you go eat some alligator? Jesus, Whiskey Nose. Jeff Perkins is here. We got Tim Cornet. What is going on, Tim? Nice to see you as always. Loch Ness is here. Nice to see you as always. Jason Cruitt, Jason K in the house. Let's see. A and D are the best ones so far, in my opinion, says Jacob. Okay, so yeah. D seems to be kind of the consensus, I think, most of all, for the most part. JG in the house. Kenneth Clark is here. You know, it's a good day when you reach the Wednesday stream. That's right. James Lay is here, and I'm just going to scroll down to the end because there's a lot of people. I got some catching up to do. We already have the first super chat of the night from JE. Cheers, Jason. Cheers, Jason, joining you with a Stagg 24A. Cheers, everyone. Awesome, man. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. Kooky Cat says, hi, a pork chop. I got 312s and 213 Stagg Juniors. It's cigar season. You know what? I appreciate that, Kooky Cats. No one has called me pork chop in a little while. It's good to see it come back. Kenneth says A and C seem to be the local. Oh, my God. It's all over the place. I believe B is everyone's least favorite. Okay. That's fair. Jose Sanchez weighing in. A, D, C, B. Okay. Yeah, B seems to be the one nobody likes. So we'll get into it. Jay Porter starting off with the Cooper's Craft 100 in my new M&D Glen. My sexy wife got me last week. Oh, I like it, Jay Porter. Very, very good. Yeah, we got some new glasses because I switched glass providers. So right now they're coming straight from Distillery Products, which is the official glassware provider of Whiskey Row and Kentucky. So the link is down below. Now, also what I want to do is, before I forget, so everybody mark your calendars. We already have 262 in the chat. I will mention this again later. But let's see the date here. It's going to be April 3rd, I believe, which is the first Wednesday in April. I'm sorry, April 2nd. April 2nd is the first Wednesday in April. And that is going to be the night for the Blendageddon Finals. That's right. Only in a few weeks, we're going to crown a Blendageddon 7 champion. Will Darrell Stewart repeat as champion, or will somebody else take him out? We have a couple of guest judges, waiting in the bullpen, I think. You guys usually know I try to get Fred Minnick and also Matt from ADHD Whiskey on the channel. I got one half of that duo so far. We'll see if the other one can show up. And if not, I also have a backup. We'll see. I like to get two judges in on it, but it should be really, really cool. Really looking forward to it. Now, as you guys know, I always like to do a charity drive, leading up to it. So this year, I had talked about doing maybe the LA Fires, but I feel like it's been so long since we did since Blendageddon's taking, a long time with everyone's schedules. I'm going to shift it back to helping the kids. So, but instead of St. Jude, because I feel like St. Jude has so many supporters and they get so much money each and every year, I wanted to focus on Nationwide Children's Hospital, which is a local hospital right here in Columbus, Ohio. And Nationwide Children's Hospital, it's an amazing hospital. you know, I've met a few of the people there, and they just don't get all the funding that like a St. Jude's does, and some others. So I feel like let's help them out. So what I'm going to be doing is raising money for Nationwide Children's Hospital, and on top of that, if you would like to donate a bottle. Now, I already have about 12, 13, maybe 14-ish bottles that I'm donating myself. But if you feel like you want to donate a bottle to help raise some money, this is the link where you can fill out the form and donate the bottles. I'm going to pin this in the chat. If you want to fill out that form, if you feel like you want to donate a bottle to the Blendageddon 7 fundraiser. So just fill out that form. It just gives you your name, your information, your email, and also what items you want to donate. So just helps me keep track of everything. And I think that it's going to be a great time. So I'm really looking forward to it. This way, for the next couple weeks, we'll be pushing it and getting the word out there about raising money, and it's going to be great. By next week, I'll have the charity, I'll have the donation up and running, and we could start donating as early as next week to get some of those bottles. So thank you for anyone that is deciding to help out and help raise some money. It's going to be a great night of giving, great night of just whiskey and whiskey talk, and crowning a new champion for 2025. So it'll be cool. Yeah, Andrew, if you want to do sample packs as well, you could do sample packs. I wrote in the description, if you want to do bottles, if you want to do sample packs, that's cool. It's really up to you. I wouldn't get too crazy with, other stuff, but and listen, if you don't have to donate a bottle, if you just want to donate money to the cause, then you could do that too. No pressure. It's up to you guys. So, really appreciate everybody. So, all right. I'm starting off tonight with some Bomberger's PFG, which stands for pretty effing good. Roscoe has the Old Forester single barrel. Oh, single barrel. Is that? Oh, single barrel pick here. Nice. Jacob Poor is going to donate right now. Yep, let's help the children. Oh my God, I love this so much. Virginia Rose in the house. What's up, Virginia? I see Virginia survived the babysitting. I'll be donating a bottle to your cause. Great job on you, Jason. Said the Bourbon Coach. Absolutely. Any info on the new Maker's Drop? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Starting the night out with a cold Miller Lite, says Adam Hinson. That's actually sounds really good right now. Max, PFG over the JD14. Oh, we could test that out right now. Want to go crazy? We'll just dive in and just start comparing stuff. Let's go for it. Let's just start comparing. See, this is the problem though. The Bombergers, I think, is gonna fall flat on the finish and the proof a little bit compared to the Jack Daniel's 14. I think right now Bombergers is it's a top 5-ish bottle. I think right now. I mean, we haven't tried enough stuff yet this year, but we'll get there. But I think it's there. Interested in your thoughts on that Reveries. I got the Sea of Kings, says Kenneth Rathburn. So Kenneth, so I tried all 4 of them last night. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, the Reveries. Unfortunately, the bottle cam, the battery died, so I don't have the bottle cam tonight. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. So the Reveries is a 9-year single barrel selected by Jay or Take. He started the whole R Bourbon Reddit. He's, he writes on, he has his website, whiskeyraiders.com. He's a great fixture within the whiskey community. He also helps run Shared Pour. We do a lot of our picks through him. He's fantastic. So he was able to kind of start his own brand a little bit, just doing some of his own single barrels called Reveries. We actually have a couple of new labels that popped up on the TTB that we'll show. But his first run were 4 single barrels, all 9 years, and they were all MGP, and all 4 of them are completely different. You have old school MGP, you have some new school MGP, you have some very, very sweet MGP in there, and then you have the Sea of Kings, which is also almost like a salted caramel type of note on it. But in all the rankings, and Kenneth, to tell you, Sea of Kings was last place for me. Sea of Kings, although good, when you have the schism, This is the Take. This one is just called the Take Debut. This one is like drinking straight up vanilla icing. It's so good. So it's like buttercream icing, long finish. It's delicious. So he's doing a great job with those, and I know he's doing some more releases. So if you're part of the R Bourbon Reddit, or if you're on the Shared Pour mailing list, you can get some notifications for this. But yeah, R Bourbon. If you're not on the R Bourbon Reddit, I'm sorry, Reddit. Sound like a frog now. If you're not on the R Bourbon Reddit, it's actually free to join. And while there's a ton of people in there, he puts his picks up for grabs in there. It's kind of a lottery, and if you win, you win, and if you don't, you don't. So, but it's a really cool thing. So, I picked up his barrel 17 today. Oak and agaves here. They were all aged in different barrel types too. Yeah, Kenneth. I think it kind of gets into that on the back. It's so cool. It's just such a cool experiment, and he's got some more stuff coming out. Anyone else gooning? Ribbit? What shoes you wear today? Today I have a pair of Dunks, a new pair of like retro Dunks. So these are my kind of retro Dunks. I love the colors on this. They kind of have like a 90s, 80s vibe to them. Bright colors. Love the orange and blue. Kind of Mets colors a bit. So that's what I'm rocking today. These are my house Dunks. I just like to walk around in my house Dunks. And I was rocking my Jordan Royals today down at Augusta, and we'll get into that when that whole experience. So it should be pretty cool. What notes do you get off the Dunks? Glue and leather. And I don't think it's very high-end leather. Okay. All right, so Jack Daniels on the nose. Jack Daniels 14. Man, Jack Daniels 14 still is carrying that really rich molasses note, almost like a rum characteristic to it. Almost gets into like just a dark molassesy, rich maple syrup, blackstrap rum type of influence. Good amount of spice here. Not really. I still have yet to kind of find that typical banana note that you normally get in Jack Daniels. I don't really find it in the 14 year. Compared to the Bombergers here, they're pretty effing good. Drinking for cousins or Penix tonight, says Lamar. The Falcons are toast next year. They can't do anything because they got so much damn money wrapped up in Kirk Cousins. Stole all the money. Bastard. So the PFG leans more into the oak. Again, that precision fine grain, the French oak, I think it really leans into that for good reason. I mean, that's what they really made it for. All the descriptors are all about what they did with these seasoned special oak staves. Watch the bomb is the banana. Watch the bomb is the banana. I wonder when Stagg is going to drop a 25 batch. Yeah, who knows? Seahawks signed Darnold. Yeah, Seahawks got Darnold. It's crazy, all the movement with all the quarterbacks. It's almost like there's not a lot of quarterbacks in the drafts. Everyone's just trading quarterbacks everywhere. All right, let's try the PFG. And cheers to everybody out there. I tell you what, just going off of memory, I think what the PFG has over the Jack Daniels is the texture. The texture on this PFG, even at only 100 and what is it, 110 proof, if I remember? Oh, I'm even lower than that. 100.2 proof. It just has a beautiful texture for 100.2 proof. Now you go back to the Jack Daniels. Oh my gosh. I think I could get a little bit of the banana now. I think it is there a little bit, but it's just like rat covered. It's like taking banana bread and just dipping it in molasses and rum. It's basically what it smells like. Oh man, the palate. I mean, I know. Oh, I got the banana on the back end. Yep, there it is. Especially coming off the PFG, the Jack Daniels 14 just brings in these like crazy banana flavors now. But again, wrapped up in the molasses and those really dark colors, you really get a lot of the oak as well on the Jack Daniels, but it's more of like a sweet oak. You get a lot more age than you do on the PFG. The PFG is a lot of that French oak influence, so it's very fruit forward. It's a lot of spice, but baking spice, almost to a drying aspect here on the back of the palate. While the Jack Daniels 14, I feel like does lean into some oak, but it also leans heavy into sweet. So I think those are the big differences. And I think just the sweetness flavors are different. The PFG, again, leads into cherry, baking spice, a little bit of toffee there, while the Jack Daniels 14, again, leans into more of a molassesy, almost rum type flavor that it has. A little bit of chocolate, too, on the Jack Daniels 14. I can make a case for some chocolate on the PFG, but, man, it's good. I think... yeah, banana on the back end, Whiskey Uncensored. There you go. Take the banana. Can I come over and try the JD14? Sure you can, Dr. Sped. Sure. Yeah, just good stuff, man. All right. These are great pours to start with tonight. While we're kind of going through this, and before we get into some of the other bottles here, let's go through a few news stories just to catch up, guys. Kind of want to get these out of the way because we do want to get into the blind tasting here in a little bit. Really, I don't really have like a graphic for this, but kind of the big news today was the EU. They moved forward with 50% retaliatory tariffs on American whiskey, unfortunately. Now, they announced its intention to impose 50% tariffs on American whiskey imports. It could debilitate heavy hitters like Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, and some of those other big whiskey brands that rely on sales overseas, unfortunately. Jack Daniels, and Jim Beam, they ship a lot of stuff, outside of the country. That's why I don't think it's really going to affect a lot of the little guys. Maybe down the line it could, but I think in the beginning it's really going to be these big brands that will feel it. It's really a retaliatory reaction to the 25% steel and aluminum tariffs on the EU from the current administration. So the first wave of tariffs slated to take effect on April 1st will apply to goods including bourbon, motorcycles, beef, poultry, and peanut butter. The second wave of tariffs, tentatively scheduled for mid-April, could affect a larger swath of products, including but not limited to American wine, gin, liquors, and cordials. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says that officials always remain open to negotiations in the meantime. Jobs are at stake. Prices will go up in Europe and in the United States. The European Union must act to protect consumers and the business. Lane said in a public statement. It's the latest in a trade war nearly a decade in the making. In March 2018, the Trump administration imposed a 25% tariff on EU steel and aluminum, much the same as what it announced on Wednesday. So here's the thing, guys. And I don't want this to turn. Please do not turn this into anything political, because if you do, we're gonna have the wrenches boot you. It's not about that. This is politics aside. I'm talking about just the tariffs that are involved. This is about United States, Europe, Canada, whatever it may be, trying to negotiate a way that we all don't get killed with these. I mean, let's face it, tariffs are a tax. It's a tax. It would be a tax on us, a tax on them. Whatever we try to buy, prices will go up, here and there for certain items, and we'll see how it goes. But it just seems like every time we see a threat of a tariff, we seem to be pulling it back a little bit or imposing it again, then pulling it back, then threatening it again. It's a back and forth. It's a political nightmare. We'll see what happens as we go down the line. Unfortunately, if it does come to pass and we just keep going back and forth and the tariffs do go higher and higher, it will become, really tough on consumers for whatever country it may be, which also sucks for bourbon producers because we are still seeing layoffs and people not buying as much. And, when you factor the tariffs on top of that, it just makes things a lot harder than it needs to be. So yeah. Other countries just now experiencing secondary prices. Jacob Pours has it all under control. He's going to take care of all of it. I appreciate that. They can keep their scotch. It will all get worked out. I think it'll all get worked out too eventually down the line. It's just a matter of all this posturing back and forth. It's just annoying and it just scares people. So hopefully they figure it out. Canada has had a 250% tariff on U.S. milk for ages. Yeah, I did read that actually. Missing with my retirement stock market. Encourage your friends to buy you more whiskey for gifts. There you go. I imagine this will further incentivize distilleries to exercise restraint with their expansions. I think it's already happening. I think people are. I got some crazy information about. Remember, late last year or mid last year, if you guys remember, NGP made the big announcement that they were cutting back on whiskey production. Well, I heard some numbers, and it's not cutting back is a very, very gentle way of putting it. They're cutting back a lot on production. And when I say a lot, it's based on the number of barrels I hear they're ordering for the entire year. It is so much less than what they were producing, a couple years ago. So we'll see. We'll see how smart everyone gets. We'll see how distillers kind of react to the market. We'll see what these releases look like, and we'll go from there. But yeah, a lot more to come. Yeah, Green River had some layoffs, which is unfortunate as well. It sucks, man. I hate to see it. It really does suck because people that people that I know in the industry, that whether it, I talk to a lot of people mostly in marketing and hospitality and stuff like that. Obviously, when they're talking to the YouTubers and influencers and stuff, and a lot of those folks that I've heard to that I've known lost a couple of their jobs. So it just sucks, man. Wondering why Green River laid off 27 employees. I was guessing it was mainly workers that dealt with tourism, since hardly any goes off the beaten path. But I'm not sure. I haven't heard exactly what division quite yet, because, even if for example, Brown-Forman said most of the layoffs were in the cooperage. And while that was true, they did lay off a lot of other people on top of that were in marketing, that were brand ambassadors. So it was across the spectrum. So we'll see. We can only speculate. I'm not going to say anything out of turn without getting definitive facts, but this is just what's been happening in the market, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to the next story, which I believe, let's see here. It's about this one's kind of fun. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this, because I think it's something that's been talked about here for a little bit. We already heard that the American Health Association wants to possibly put a cancer warning label on the back of whiskey bottles, but also the big talk has come back up for putting nutrition labeling on the back of label. So, I mean, literally, like seeing this on the back of a label like that, like a nutrition facts on the back of a label, total fat, serving size, cholesterol, all that stuff. And there was an interesting article that I wrote, and there's one distillery. Well, here's the story. In January, the TTB proposed regulations that would mandate calorie and allergen information on the labels of spirits, wines, and malt beverages sold within the U.S. The proposal hopes to remedy a well-known blind spot within the industry, namely that most alcohol is not regulated by the FDA and is thus exempt from a nutrition facts label. So public comments on the proposal are open from now until April 17th, and not everyone loves the idea. Two Bar Spirits, a grain and glass bourbon distillery based in Seattle, Washington, bluntly says that the law would be a waste of time. People drink alcohol to relax, spend time with friends and family, and to enjoy the many and varied flavor profiles that different spirits have to offer, often in pairings with food. Small distilleries will be hard-pressed to pay for the design and print costs to update their labels to include calorie and allergen information, especially given the state of the industry, with sales and volumes down across the board. Point noted. So, firstly, the legislation proposes that all alcohol beverage subject to TTB's authority must declare the presence, if any, of the following allergens: milk, eggs, fish, crustacean shellfish, tree nuts, wheat, peanuts, soybeans, and sesame. Most of these ingredients can only be found in novelty products. I think of something like a trout brandy or the occasional black sesame liquor. Other ingredients, however, are building blocks of the trade. The vast majority of whiskeys would be affected by the stipulation regarding wheat, as would cream-based liquors like Bailey's, with the stipulation on milk. So, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I just want to kind of get your reaction here in the chat. What do you guys think? Going to have to beef up the bunker. To be fair, I'd like the facts on beer and wine. Liquor seems silly. It's just a function of ABV, says Top Shelf Dustin. Well, F me backwards. If there are crustaceans in my whiskey, that's the first thing I said. I'm like, is there shellfish? They got a scallop in my freaking wild turkey? What the hell's happening? No, wild scallop. I love crawfish whiskey too, especially like out of crab boil. It's delicious. I'm going to be thankful if I can actually get a nice bottle for a reasonable price, says a TV Yankee fan. Probably would be the nail in the coffin to a lot of smaller NDP, says Prozac. Yeah, I think those are the folks we would need to watch as if this happens, because yeah, label design, I mean, it's not cheap. I'm living that thing right now. I'm living in the whole design, label, and printing costs. It's expensive. So, when you talk about that and now we have to add nutrition facts to it, dude. And then, like, what's the process of actually figuring out the nutrition facts? Got to send it to a lab. They break it down. They tell you what's this, what has that, how many calories. That would be a nightmare. Be an absolute nightmare. Man, then I can't underestimate my calories. I'll have the real number. Yeah, exactly, Ben Dram. Nobody wants to know the calories they're drinking. Can we make a bargain to change? Oh, this is the best idea ever, Jason Pruitt. Can we make a bargain to change the 3-tier system if we accept the nutrition labels? Yeah, you should, Jason Pruitt. You should send that idea in to the board. You should do that. But look, if we're going to put nutrition labels on it, how about we get rid of the 3-tier system and just allow all distilleries to ship directly? Let's do that. Thank you. How would they do it with single barrel? Well, that's the thing. They would have to do it for every single release. So a single barrel would have to get, analyzed for allergens and, God forbid, any shellfish that are in the yeah. Justin, I thought Blanton's was already diet. Oh man, so many crazy stuff. Oh my God. Greg McDonald, Augusta, you got around at the Masters? No, I went to Augusta Distillery today. It's been a long day, so we'll get into that here. Let me just go through a couple more quick stories here. You guys are the greatest. This is why I hate missing my my live streams. Let's see here. Quick look at the Woodford Reserve Derby bottle. If there are some of you out there that collect the Derby bottle, it's got a nice bright label this year. Kind of a horse running through a bed of roses. It's pretty. It's a nice little. It's a nice bottle for the Derby time. So if you guys are collectors, I know some people that get every single bottle of these, and it's not even the fact that they're huge Woodford fans. It's just that collectability part that that whiskey drinkers innately have. It's kind of like embedded into our systems that Woodford Reserve and sometimes these collectible bottles that come out every year. You got to catch them all. It's like Pokemon, but they've been doing this for many, many years now. And as you can see, we got a new label. So if you guys collect it, or collect them, I should say, that is the look of the new label for Derby time this year. So there you go. Try to catch them all if you can. All right, let's see what we saw on the TTB. Somebody brought up the Maker's Mark, and here it is. Maker's Mark is coming out with a new distillery exclusive here in 2025. Notes of dark, rich baking spice. 10 French oak staves. Man, people leaning into the French oak. People really leaning into the French oak this year. I kind of dig it. This says 90 proof. Now, I'm not sure if that's the actual proof. It could be for position only. We never really know that. But here is the other. This is the side label. Thank you for joining us at our unique home and National Historic Landmark, Star Hill Farm. We hope this distillery exclusive reminds you of your time with us here at Maker's Mark. So only available at the distillery. It looks like it's a 10 French oak stave release. So again, Maker's Mark just doing the same stuff that they've been doing. Like, I don't know. Is anyone else over all the stave things? Am I an asshole for just like saying like enough's enough? I like Maker's Mark. It's such a beautiful distillery and experience, but I'm just over all the staves. Like enough, like do something else, dude. Like how many years are we gonna have virgin French oak staves? This stave. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of I just think it's kind of overdone to this point. You know what was kind of cool when they got rid of, I know some people were pissed, but when they got rid of the mocha stave and then they put the Mendy in there, and then people were like, oh, it kind of reinvigorated the program again. I think they need to do that. Like take out a stave, throw a new one in, and then you get some new combinations, some new flavor profiles, and see what happens. I just feel like we've had the same staves for many years now. I just feel like, I don't know, we just need to do something. Sorry, meant Hatfield Co. Cheers, y'all. Careful getting off the stool after your Stagg, Jay. I know, Mark. I'm gonna staves the last dance. Henry Turner, well played, sir. What are they gonna do? Spirals? No, just add a different stave to the mix. I don't know. Can they do slutty French oak staves instead of virgin staves? I guess they could. I'm waiting for the Liechtenstein stave. Candy cane staves, mint without the rye spice. They just need Oh, JG, don't you dare. I'm going to time you out for saying that, JG. Stave Matthews Band. That should just be the name of a pick, Justin. Oh, my God. That's so good. See the Melwood series being bottled? Yes, the Melwood series, which is being bottled by the Pursuit fellas, by Ryan and Kenny. So interested to see how that turns out. There's only so much you could do in the creativity department when it comes to bourbon. They should put out something with some age on it. I mean, they have been with the cellar aged. How about an aged Maker's Mark product not put in a cellar? Give me all the flavor, damn it. Prozac. Oh, thank you. I couldn't not agree with you more. Stop putting him in that limestone shit. I want a 10-year, 11-year just in the rick house. Just leave it there. Let it cook. Let it cook, baby. Isn't that what the kids say these days? Let them cook. Let's see what happens. Okay. Hey, what's up, Bourbon Jerk? Nice to see you, man. We got 417 chiming in, guys. Again, if you have not yet, please hit that like button below. We're about to get into some of these, all these other bottles after we go through some of these new labels. Here's a new label that just jumped up. Old Overholt Cast Strength, aged 12 years. So we've had a 10, we've had 11, and now we have 12. I don't know if I'm like super excited about these anymore. They're good. I don't know if I need to run out and buy the 12-year though. I don't know. I find the old Overholt, the high age ones, they're good. I don't feel like they're game changing. I feel like, why don't you take that 12? Well, it's probably a different mash bill, but just give the people what they want. Bring back Booker's Rye, Jim Beam. Out of all your freaking releases, give us what we want. Give us back Booker's Rye. Speaking of Booker's, this is weird. Booker's just released the label for the reserves. Now, if you guys remember, they released the reserves last year. It was a bigger and better, higher aged version of Booker's. This is a different twist, though. The reserves for 2025, you can read that. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished in tequila barrels. That's right. Booker's in tequila barrels. 8 years, 12 months, 2 days. There it is. Tequila barrels. So this is the weird thing. I did not see this coming. Did not figure on Jim Beam using the reserves as a finishing / experimental label, but that seems to what's happening here. I don't know. Yeah, tequila in my whiskey. I don't know. I rather have the shellfish. I don't know, man. They've gone too far, says Mojo. So 9 years and 2 days. Why? Just why? Hard pass on that one. High West and Casa Nobles. Oh, yes, that's true. So many Bookers, I get lost. Yeah, skipping that one. Isn't there 12 months in a year? That's some Kentucky math. Let's look at that again here. 8 years, 12 months, 2 days. Yeah, so 9 years and 2 days. Yeah, that's definitely some Kentucky math. I hope that's a typo, because that would be pretty embarrassing if that was the actual 8 years, 12 months, 2 days. I don't get it. Yeah, so that's 9 years and 2 days. Maybe they just didn't want to put 9 years and 2 days. They need to have a month on it, or it just messes up. It just brings the entire label out of balance if you leave the months off. I don't get it, man. What is happening? One thing we could count on from Jim Beam is a lot of freaking releases. Holy hell. Woodford Reserve is coming out. This is the edition 21 in their Thor's Hammer bottle series, as I like to call it. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey aged in Chinkapin oak. 110.4 proof. Now, if the proof is actually 110, that's kind of cool, because it's not 90.4 like it usually is always. So if they're actually starting to up the proof for some of these releases and listening to everybody, are we finally getting some traction with Woodford? Finally, listen, whether you buy into the whole Chinkopin oak thing or not, the fact that, I mean, look at it again. Look at the bottom. It says 110.4 proof. I am not kidding. So, I mean, that alone has me intrigued. Now, I did see the neck tag for this as well, and it just says sweet oak on it. It says sweet oak. That's all it says. It doesn't say Chinkopin oak. It just says sweet oak. So more to come on this one. I hope it does stay at 110.4 proof. The only other thing we're missing on this bottle is a little bit of an age statement. Just give us something, Woodford Reserve. But I give you a lot of credit for upping the proof point. If that's what we're seeing, that's like we never see that. So, yeah. Mojo says this is BS. Pass. Let's see here. Oh, wait. I gotta go down. 300, 150. Make 750 milliliter bottles great again. Hey, what's up, Hawk? Hawk is here. And 700 milliliters. They had to give. Yeah, I got to give something back. Woodford finally read the room. Let's see if it pans out. Yeah, we'll see. What's the Chinkopin flavor profile? It's a good question. Chinkopin it's definitely sweet, but I haven't had enough of it to, give you, like, I've only had maybe 1 or 2 pours of the Charter Oak Chinkopin from Old Charter, which is from Buffalo Trace, which is from Sazerac. And I just haven't, like, I had that like during a night of other pours. I didn't really remember it standing out too much. But yeah. El Tesoro Tequila did a release on Knob Creek barrels. It says Kentucky to tequila and back, so I'm guessing they reuse those barrels. If that's the case, I know El Tesoro from just tequila geeks that I know, they think that El Tesoro is very highly regarded. It's a non-chill filtered, no sugar added type of tequila experience. So that would be smart if they did do that. Yeah, it's just sweet oak. That's all it says. Isn't that on an island with wild horses? I don't know. Okay, let's get back to some of the other ones here that we found. But yeah, if Woodford Reserve is up on the proof on some of these, it's about time. Woodford Reserve is also releasing an American single malt whiskey, a 375 milliliter bottle. This I'm not so excited about because it's 90.4 proof. And as we have come to know, American single malt from Kentucky distilleries, just most of them aren't ready for prime time. They're just not. But a distillery that is, Cedar Ridge, baby. Cedar Ridge is coming out with their quintessential. And the reason why I picked this one out is because that Marquette cask finish that you see down below, this thing, we got to taste this when we were there a few weeks ago. And I didn't really know what Marquette is. It's some kind of sweet wine. It's very grape forward. That American single malt tasted like straight up American single malt Welch's grape juice, but in a really, really good way. It was spicy. It was very sweet. Now the finish, at least the cask we tried, the finish kind of died a little bit because we did have a chance to maybe grab one of these for the group, but instead we wanted the bourbon Amontillado, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't hit right. But that Marquette, if you like, it was so sweet, and it was pretty damn good. And lastly, as I was talking about the Reveries here from Jay at Take and Shared Pour, he's coming out with the Raven, and it looks like the Raven is going to be a blend of Indiana and Kentucky bourbons. And I think, let's see here, yeah, blend of straight whiskeys, batch 1, 116 proof. I'm not sure if those are the actual numbers, but that looks like his next one coming out. And then he's also dropping this, a 16-year hand-picked single barrel that is from Kentucky. So I'm wondering if this is actually a Buffalo Turkey as well. So we'll see. But it looks like people are coming to the game with these higher age statements. There's still some out there. And speaking of Buffalo Turkey, I'm going to put these aside here real quick. Oh my gosh. The PFG has gotten so incredibly chocolatey. It's so good. It is just chocolate cherry goodness. I'm going to have some more of that. Then we'll get into some of these other samples here. Yeah, so it took a ride to Augusta Distillery, right on the Ohio River, down in western Kentucky. Beautiful place. Kind of in the middle of nowhere in a very small town. If you've ever been to Augusta, just a cool place. And we were tried any new Louisville brand from Nulu. Haven't had that yet. 96 milli, man. Woodford malt whiskey is one of the worst things I've ever tasted, says James Lang. Yeah, a lot of people don't like that one. So left early this morning, about 7 a.m., got on the road, went down there. It was only like 2.5 hours from here down to Augusta. And, our group, Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, they were, a lot of people were kind of asking, hey, were you ever going to get a Buffalo Turkey barrel? All these barrels are going around and they're not going to last much longer. There are a lot of them out there. There's not many more on the market. So they're going to go away at some point. So we felt like Augusta, we heard, has some really good options. So we went down there. We tried 3 different barrels. One of them was really good. We were kind of on the cusp of picking that one. And then, and by the way, Matt and Billy today, if you guys are watching, thank you so much. It was an incredible experience. They take you in a big room, barrels all around you. They're just thieving right out and you're just tasting them. It's a cool experience. It's not a big distillery at all. But we kind of landed on one, and then I gave him the old, hey. And I'm looking over here like, somebody's there. Just this is what it was like at the distillery. You got any more of these barrels hiding out somewhere? What else you got? So they rolled out another barrel, and that 4th barrel was a banger. 137 proof. The thing was cherry pipe tobacco. Somebody said like leather bomber jacket. It was so good. It had the age and all the sweet that you want from one of these Buffalo Turkey barrels with a crazy long finish, 137 proof. And the thing is, we're only going to get like maybe 70 bottles out of that cask because there's just not a lot in there. So we're really excited to get that for the group. And then we actually also took the first choice of the first 3 that we got, which was more of a rock candy, strawberry. I'm calling it Sugar Lips. That's going to be the name of the pick. And we can't wait. And both of these are going to be 16 years old by the time they're bottled. But overall, those will be the only Buffalo Turkeys we're picking. It just, I feel like it's kind of a cool novelty that's out there. So we're going to grab that, and we'll see how it is. So we'll see how the group takes to it. But we're looking forward to it. Yeah, we're so because you got to name the pick. So the first pick, the almost hazmat one, we're naming that one's called Sweet 16 because it's going to be 16 years old. It was, I think, distilled on the 16th, and it's going to be bottled on the 16th. So, and plus it's March, so we felt like the Sweet 16 thing was kind of a perfect tie-in. I know we were debating on there was a reason for that. We also tried the 10-year barrels. And they didn't say what it was. They couldn't say what it was, but it was Jim Beam. It was 10-year Beam. It tasted exactly like Beam. And we just weren't crazy about it. And those are $150. And we just didn't think any of those were good enough to warrant the $150 price point for a 10-year Beam. It just wasn't there. Complexity wasn't there. We just didn't dig it. So we feel like, well, if there's so few of the 15 in the first cask, let's just grab another 15 for the group. And this way, if nobody's ever had Buffalo Turkey, they could try it. So, yeah, they're expensive. They're expensive, Ken. They're like $300 for the Buffalo Turkey bottles, unfortunately. But that's the going rate. They're out there for about $250 to $300 for the most part. Some I've even seen more expensive. But the bullshit part is like people are marketing it as it's Russell's 15 bourbon, which it's not. I mean, we already heard what it actually is from Bruce Russell. It's not Russell's 15 bourbon. So it's barely even Wild Turkey. It's Buffalo Trace. It's Buffalo Trace whiskey with using the Wild Turkey mash bill. That's really what it is. So, geez, a few more bucks and you have a Hardin's Creek. The 10-year Beam is for your mom, says John LaCalpo. Since it's Easter time, could you do the miracle of the loaves and fishes and turn those 70 bottles into $700? I mean, you could. Hey, JC, love watching your live stream live. Still killing it as always. Thoughts on the best still Austin release? That's for advanced drinkers. That is reasonably findable. You the GOAT, says Matthew M. I don't even know what's reasonably findable anymore because all we get here in Ohio is the cast strength, still Austin. But as far as what else is out there, I mean, it's hard not to say the Tanager. The Tanager is delicious. I don't know how easy that is to find. But I will say the blue corn, the red corn, the green corn varietals that they put out, And obviously, if you get the order of Nancy picks from Still Austin, those are going to be some of the best Still Austins you're going to find. So I would highly recommend trying to hunt out one of the order of the Nancy picks. Okay, what are we trying right now? This is the latest sample I received from Heaven Hill. This is the Bernheim Barrel Proof Batch A225. Coming in at 125.4. It's kind of the forgotten bottle in the Heaven Hill Barrel Proof lineup. So let's see where we're at. Actually, I think I have a little bit of a write-up here about it. I got so much paperwork to go through. Oh, here it is. Get the papers. All right. I always forget about this one. So let's see here. Bernheim Barrel Proof Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey. Sorry, straight wheat whiskey. Always got to, put that in there. Crafted with a mash bill of 51% wheat, 37% corn, 12% malted barley. The same mash bill used in the Bernheim Original Wheat Whiskey. Aged between 7 and 9 years in Heaven Hill's traditional open rick houses in Bardstown. Unfiltered expression, bottled at 125.4 proof. So yeah, let's see what we get. Yeah, Mark and Monecker, they do isn't it green? Don't they do a green corn? Oh, I'm sorry, the Oaxacan. I said that right now, right? Oaxacan corn. That's the good stuff. Any relation to doctor's orders? James Morgan. Cheers, Jason. Watching the live with the family. What's up, Christian? Christian Mojica. What's up, Christian Mojica? What's up, family? Thanks for watching tonight. Hope you guys are having some pours on it. Tommy D is here. We got 435 people in the chat, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Run it up. Appreciate it. Okay. It smells bready. Bread, honey. It's like a fresh loaf of wheat bread, man. It is bready. Is it just me? Does the area we can't see to his right seem like it goes on forever? Box of samples. It actually doesn't go on forever. It's like right here is a shelf and then a wall, and that's it. This room isn't that big. Maybe it looks bigger on TV, but it's not that big. I don't know if it's a family program, but waiting for HH 19 year, says the Colonel. Justin Jenkins. Did you go for the Galaxy foams? Nah, Nick, I can't pull off the Galaxy foams. I'm not wearing those on my feet. They look like clown shoes on me. I can't rock those. Which Jacob's well is the better one again? Batch 2, or is it batch 3? It's the which one is it? It's the one with the higher month. The one with the higher month count. It's like 200 and something months. That one's the thing, man. Jason is PG if you don't speak New Yorker. I don't know. The nose is okay. Wheat bread. It's kind of like a honey wheat bread. Definitely some honey here. Jacob's well. Oh, the 211. Oh, yes, the 211. That's the one you want. The 211. That thing is a banger. All right, let's give it a try. Here we go. Oh, that was way better on the palate than I thought it would be. I thought that was going to be very boring, and it actually wasn't. This is very, very sweet. Very sweet. Again, that honey profile comes to the forefront. You get the weediness of it, but it's almost like Frosted Flakes, where it's got like that sugar-coated weediness to it. Compare Bernheim Barrel Proof to HH 19. Yeah, I got the Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey 19. I could compare that. Sure, why not? I came across this today. European Union targeted American whiskeys in retaliation against President Donald Trump's steel and aluminum tariff. Yep, Robert Schmier. We talked about that earlier. We'll see what happens as the weeks go by. It seems to be a lot of posturing going on with the tariffs. We'll see what kicks in, what doesn't, who kind of reins it back in, who doesn't. Well, it's just something to watch. Hey, Jason, pains me to say, but your Mets look good this year. Light on pitching, but otherwise will score a ton. That said, go Phillies. Yeah, my Mets will be fun to watch. I'm definitely a little worried about the pitching. The bullpen looks strong this year, from what I've seen so far. But as far as the starting pitching, that's going to worry me, especially if we do make the playoffs, because pitching wins in the playoffs. You could score a ton, but you really have to have the pitching. So we'll see what happens. And I don't see anyone slowing down the Dodgers quite yet. So the Heaven Hill, so the 19 has the age. You could smell that rich, sweet oak on it. I love it. I think the nose on the Heaven Hill 19 is fantastic. It should be a candle. I think it's actually really, really good. So is HH learning to pick and blend Larceny and Bernheim? No, taste sensibility. It's a completely different mash bill. So yeah, Kenneth, the biggest difference here is the age. The 19 years is, you can't hide it. It has a lot of sweet, rich oak here on it. A little bit of leather. I would definitely say there's some sweet tobacco in here as well. And for a wheat whiskey, that's pretty cool. Again, the proof is obviously lower on this. It's not going to really, as I stated in my review, if you want something cast strength, this is not going to be for you. But I did a little research, and they did hit this proof for a reason. They just felt like the flavors of adding a little bit of water to it is what kind of released a lot of those sweet oak flavors, which is why they proofed it down a little bit. So it wasn't just because they wanted to proof it down. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that proofed it down to make more money." For this one, there was a reason behind it, and I really do feel like you taste it, because at cast strength, I'm not sure if it would be this sweet or if it'd be kind of like what we're tasting here, where it is very sweet, but it's a little bit harsher. What were your thoughts on that Smoke Eye versus Stagg, says Jacob Pours? Smoke Eye Hill, depending on the batch, is delicious. I do not think it is not a George T. Stagg killer. I don't care what anybody says. It does not compete with George T. Stagg. Stagg Jr., or just regular Stagg, or whatever we call it these days, it could be a good alternative to Stagg for sure. But I've seen now lately, as the Smoke Eye Hill batches are rolling out, they're pretty inconsistent. So the batches that were used, during the Ascot Awards last year, and people were kind of going crazy for it, taste pretty different than some of the batches that are coming out now. So we have a flavor drift issue with Smoke Eye Hill as well. Again, it is a blend, so maybe they're just having trouble getting it dialed in to be consistent. But a George T. Stagg, it will never be. But as far as a good alternative to regular Stagg, I think it could hang with it for the most part, especially the sweeter Smoke Eye Hills that are out there, because people that love Stagg love how sweet it is. So the Smoke Eye Hill batch that I have is a banger, says Aaron C. And it's recent. Well, there you go, Aaron C. I'm saying they could hang with it for sure. Which one is the best batch? I've been debating on purchasing one since I'm a huge fan of Stagg Jr. out of almost every batch so far. Ask Aaron C. what batch he has. If he has a new one and he says it's a banger, Aaron C., do you have a batch number on yours? What do you got? I tell you what, this is surprisingly really good. I was not a fan of the first couple releases, but this A225 Bernheim Barrel Proof, dude, that has a really beautiful, sweet profile. It's not over weedy. It's very sweet. It's got great spice for a wheater, for a wheat whiskey. That thing's good. This might be a usually I'm like try before you buy, but this one might lean on buy a little bit. As I sip more, maybe not. I still think it's a try before you buy, but this is definitely one of the better ones that I've had in recently. So honey, sweet tea, a lot of spice. That sweet tea note is very prevalent. That's good. Better than Larceny Barrel Proof? Um, as far as the A, so they only do 2 releases of these a year. Larceny gets 3. I might like this over Larceny or over the A1. Well, the A125 wasn't bad. Thought it was a good solid batch. I still might take the Larceny over this just because it has more of the flavors I love in bourbon. But this is a sneaky good little, I don't know. I would say if you guys can, give this one a try. This thing turns into straight up honey sweet tea. It's interesting how it just kind of turns. It definitely gets a little bit easier to drink. The spice kind of loosens up a little bit. It doesn't really keep going like it did in the beginning. But man, it's a nice little sipper. Again, this is one of those whiskeys where you want it a little bit on the softer side, especially on the finish. That's what it drinks like, especially after a few sips in. That's why I take so many sips, because it doesn't, you have to keep tasting it to see if it stays consistent. This one, the first 2 sips I really love, but then as you keep sipping it, the finish tends to tail off a little bit. So, but this might be one you want to check out. Just the proof is nice. It's got good flavor. It's not overly weedy. But the Heaven Hill 19 still reigns supreme for me. So I'm telling you, if I saw that Heaven Hill 19 for retail, I would buy it, but I would not pay a penny over retail for it. So, all right, let's put this one over here. Hopefully it'll be around 65. Yeah, if you like that sweet tea note in whiskey, it's good. And don't get me wrong, it's not like super complex. It is what it is. It's pretty straightforward. It's down the middle, and that's what it is. All right, let's get into, speaking of weeders, Penelope just sent me this bottle. I don't know how this one worries me a little bit more, because I'm not really a weeded guy, and I would imagine this is kind of a young weeded bourbon. America. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. But I'll get into the oh, really quick. I don't think I said what the price is. Yeah, it's $66.99 for the Bernheim barrel proof. So, all right, now this Penelope Weeder. Penelope Weeded, yellow label. There it is. Non-chill filtered, 95 proof. Well, that's gonna be rough coming off the other one. Let's see what we got here. Oh, nope, that's the Rio. I don't know if anybody noticed that too. Rio batch, was it batch 3 or batch 4 just released? What does it say on here? Well, it doesn't say anything. Whatever. The latest Penelope Rio is out. In case you guys are big fans of Rio. All right. Is this for the weeder? Nope, this is for the Rio. 98 proof. The latest batch of Rio will be available in limited quantities nationwide in March at a suggested minimum retail price of $79.99. All right. Yeah, we don't need that. Is this the one? Yes. Penelope Bourbon expands its award-winning portfolio with weeded. New expressions, proof, and price points make it quality, everyday bourbon for all. We'll be the judge of that. Penelope Bourbon introduced a new addition to its core series of bourbons with Penelope Weeded Bourbon. The latest innovation expands the Penelope lineup with an approachable weeded bourbon that delivers on versatility due to its proof and price points. It's bottled at 95 proof and available nationwide February at a suggested minimum retail price of $39.99. That's a really nice price. Love these affordable bottles that are hitting the market. As the 5th core expression, so this is a new core expression for Penelope. Weeded bourbon diversifies the portfolio, blah, blah, blah. Where's the mash bill? 74% corn, 16% wheat, 7% rye, and 3% malted barley. I just said 3% malted body. That's what Whiskey Nose has. He's got 3% malted body. All right. Here we go here. Actually agree. Penelope Weed is not bad for what it is. Better than other Penelopes I've had. Is Penelope doing a cigar batch? They should be. I won those Union Jordans 10.5. Trade me some good bourbon and Patreon membership. You serious? Jacob, you got one of those at 10.5? That's my size, dude. Oh man. Might be able to work something out, Jacob. Email me, themashanddrum@gmail.com. I tried a million different lotteries to get those unions. It's not bad for the money. I'm not that kind of gal, but for some reason, the color of this label gives me visceral reaction of ew, and I already hate it. Malted Bobby. Stuff and whiskey and S&W and MD is selling wheat at $33. Okay, let's give it a go. Powdered sugar. ALW. Would you rather Heaven Hill keep releasing 3 mediocre ECB batches a year and maybe go to 1 and 2 high age releases, like a 14, 15 year ECBP? It's a good question, Rare Breed. Honestly, I just want ECBP to be brought back to the glory it once was. I don't really know how else to say it. Listen, it's tough because Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is still a great value bourbon, but I think Heaven Hill made a big mistake when they released that 13-year one, the C923. That was like 13 years and an absolute banger, because now everybody wants that again, and that is the batch that everybody is comparing the new batches to. And it's, if you're going to keep bringing out 10-year, 9-month, and all this other stuff as blends, I don't know. It's tough. Listen, there's, I've done I've done a couple of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof picks, and there are some really amazing barrels, and there are some very mediocre ones. So if the mediocre ones are getting left behind and getting blended into the current batches, then listen, you have mediocre barrels, you're going to have a mediocre whiskey. You're not going to make amazing whiskey off of mediocre barrels. But I don't know. That's a great question, actually. I mean, I think that all the distilleries should be kind of cutting back a little bit on the on their special releases. And I don't know if you would consider ECBP a special release anymore, but I really do. I feel like they should be cutting back, stop releasing, 15 different new releases, during the year. Focus on 2 or 3 really high-end, amazing releases that people will want and that are better than your core offerings, and then just stick to that. But that's tough. Heaven Hill has a lot of barrels. They have a lot of stuff that they have to create. All this stuff it's planned out years ahead. It's, bourbon is a long game. You have to plan years ahead. And this is what they do. And whether or not they can make that shift, depending on buying or people saying that I'm not buying ECBP anymore, we'll see. But I do wish they would bring back some of the higher age statements if they could. Every now and again, at least one a year. Give us one a year that's like that 13-year, has a really nice age statement on it. Doesn't have to be every single one. I'm just saying it would give everybody, I think, something a little bit to look forward to, because you bring out A, B, and C, and they're all like 10 years and 7 months. Everyone's just going to be like, that's another ECBP. Now, granted, it could be really good, but I don't know. I just feel like there's, surprise us again a little bit. Throw in another 12-year age statement in there, like the days of yore. Excite us again. ECBP is coming out with a rye this year. Yeah, this is the actual label. We showed this 2 weeks ago. Elijah Craig is coming out with a barrel proof rye. And I think, this is going to be really, really cool. Now, the bottled by John Doe there, bottled on 5/2/25. I don't know if this is going to be a bottle your own experience first before it hits the market, or if it's going to be a universal release, but it does say batch number B525 on it. So hopefully these will be batched and available for everybody to enjoy. But I'm excited to try some of those for sure. Heaven Hill needs to fix the blending on ECBP. I don't care what the age statement is, but the blending is just not what it used to be. I agree. I agree, Ben. There's just something missing in those blends as of late. It just doesn't hit like it used to. Are they fine? They're fine, but it's missing that punch. That you know, one time you would get one that's like a cherry bomb. One time you would get one that's um, like a butterscotch toffee bomb. Like that's what I want. That's what I want to find. And every single batch of late just seems to just kind of be too even keel. They're just a little bit flat. Like I want it to, pop, sizzle, and sparkle in places on my palate. Let's go. Not gonna lie, a straight trade of those unions for Jack 14 sounds fair for all parties, says Cajun. I don't have another bottle of the 14, and I'm gonna need to save that bottle for the end of the year. But we could work on something else maybe. The age stocks should go back to their core offerings. I'd rather see them focus on 1 or 2 banger BP releases, especially since there's a plethora of high age statement, high proof picks out there. They flooded the market with comparative bottles. Virginia, that's the point. They have so many good bottles on the market. They're not exceeding the quality in their Elijah barrel proofs. And the picks, the barrel proof pick that we did a few months ago, or actually not more than a few months ago, is ridiculous. And I cannot wait for that thing to come out. So, okay, tickle your whistle. Late to the show, but still got to pay the tater tax. Cheers to whoever gifted me a membership, says Ben Singer. Oh, did somebody give memberships? It was probably Top Jimmy if it happened. If I missed it, I'm sorry. Or unless you got it last week or something. But yeah. All right, I got to get to this weeder because we got to get into these stags. For $33, that's really good. It's right where it should be. It's not going to blow you away. It's sweet. It doesn't come off flat at all. It's got really nice sweetness. It kind of backs it up with a little bit of a citrus quality to it as well. That citrus quality probably coming from the MGP that's blended in here. It's got this citrus, lemon, orange combination to go along with that wheated profile. Jacob pours fucking you to Jack Daniels and a shelf ECBP with annual special releases of truly special bottles. Yeah, Aaron. I mean, speaking of that pick, any ETA? No, we haven't. Listen, it's Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill takes forever on picks. But our pick, we're calling it the Luxardo Cherry because it literally tasted like the Luxardo cherry syrup that's in the jar. So make ECBP great again. Absolutely. I think it's comparable to the Bardstown Wheated, Robert, actually. I think they both have kind of a citrusy thing going on. But the Penelope kind of beats it on price for $33. I mean, compared to what, 60, 65 for the high wheat? I mean, that's a higher proof point, but this is actually really nice for the price. 33, 34. I'm telling you, Penelope, I mean, they know the market. And I agree with Virginia. It's not really the most attractive bottling, being the whole, being yellow. I mean, I get yellow and the wheat, but it's actually pretty nice for the money. This could be a great cocktail whiskey if you so choose, but it could be just a nice, easy sipper. This will be like a great summer pour. Just fill your glass, maybe put like a couple rocks in it. You can just drink this all day long. It's good. $33, I think. Is that what I said? Or 39? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. $39.99. I'm sorry. I don't know where I got 33. $39.99. That's still a great price. $40 for this. Love it. Jeff Coleman says, BK member here, waiting patiently for your first collaboration with them. Yeah, Jeff, me too, man. I think it's going to be probably around the fall will be my first release, and I'm looking forward to it. The Colonel, we're about to drink the Stagg right now. Been through I didn't do the freaking 1924. Let me try this really quick. Then I promise we'll do the Stagg. Oh, it's only 10:18. I got time. All right. This I found sitting on the shelf in Ohio. Sitting on the shelf. Nobody cares about the Old Forester 1924. This is the second batch, and I would not have bought this, but I heard from multiple people from palates I trust that batch 2 is a lot better than batch 1. And if this sucks, I'm going to be pissed. This better be good. I'm just saying. I have batch 1 pulled out. This is batch 2. Where thought I took out batch 1. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Staring right at it. Here's batch 1. All right. Batch 1, yeah. Fritz, this is how I felt about batch 1. Was meh. It was okay. People who were going crazy saying it was like God's gift to whiskey. I'm not sure what they were tasting. Just tried the new pull tab on these rare character bottles, and the pull tab just ripped in half. Time for the box cutter again. Sorry, Prozac. Sean Ortega, seen a JD single barrel proof rye with a red Coy Hill rye sticker today. It was a store pick. Anyone else see those? Bill Spears was a store. Not sure where that is at. It was a store pick with a red sticker. Sean Ortega. Do those exist? I don't think those exist. Now, they do single barrel picks with Coy Hill. I mean, they did release a single barrel Coy Hill bottle, but you're saying this was a pick. I'm going to have to research that. Just don't toss the bottle if you don't like it, Jason C. I'm not going to toss it. For a blended age statement, what would you make it that much better? Just older juice in it? I don't know, maybe older. Hype, yes. I saw the same picture on Facebook. Oh, okay. We've seen it on secondary. You guys are okay. Heat that cutter up, Prozac. How do you tell the difference between batch 1 or 2? That's a good question. Let me see if it actually says batch 2 anywhere on here. 10-year-old. I guess the only way to tell is on the back. I hate to tell you to look at the laser code, but does it even say 2025 on there? Oh, yeah, it says no, it doesn't. So how would you know? Did I just buy like a backup of batch 1? I know. I mean, I'm assuming it's batch 2 just because these just went missing and now they're back. So I'm guessing it's the second batch. We'll see if there's a difference here. Is the label the same color? It's on the. Oh, it is on the bottom. The bottom of the front. The bottom where? Oh, laser code. Yeah, laser code. Oh, there it is. 25. Okay. Yeah, batch 2. Okay. We're good. Oh no, wait, that was batch 2. So this is batch 1 in my right hand. Let's see what we get here. Oh, the bottom of the bottom. Oh, there it is, sir. Look at all the beautiful indentations. So many freaking numbers on this thing. Okay. Yep, got it. It was a long laser code. Above the bottom, the tramp stamp. Batch 2 is 120 proof. Man, if only there was some kind of bottle cam. I know, I'm sorry. Bottle cam's not charged. All right, so I got to say, batch 2 on the nose is actually better, but it is a fresh bottle. Look, Fritz has the actual laser code. Okay, so, so batch 1, again, good, sweet oak, very old forestery. It's got a little bit of that acetone note on it. Batch 2. Okay. I need another sip of that. How many bottles of 1924 are there? There's just 2 of them now. Jason, you've seen the OF13 VVS prices skyrocket in the past month. Any idea why? Or is it simply FOMO? Christian, because it just won like the best bourbon on the planet from some whiskey award. That's why it shot up. I'll tell you what, batch 2 has a way better finish on it than batch 1. My big complaint with batch 1 where is the finish just fell off the table. I think batch 2 actually has a better finish on it. It's a little bit darker. It's got a little bit more spice on it, but is it still worth $130? No. Whatever, guy. Whoever told me that this is like so much better, whatever, dude. It's good. It's definitely a step up, but a very, very small step up. Old Forester Super Blend. Let's just do that. I like your style, JG. All right, let's get ready. Let's try these stags here. We're about to get into it. It's already 10:25. I got 35 minutes, maybe a little bit more to go through all these stag batches. But let's see what I pick here. Ooh, the blend is actually pretty nice. Oh, the blend is really good, actually. I might just blend both of those bottles together, make a mega 1924 blend. Russell Reserve 10 LLME would crush it, I bet. I don't know if it would crush it. Yeah, some Yahoo article, Brian Mackey. That's right. That's good, actually. I'm just going to make a 1924 mega blend with both bottles. Am I the only one that thought that Bruce meant the LLME was the batch that he and Jimmy did together 10 years ago when he started? No, Whiskey Habit. No, he was saying that was the Beacon, which is going to be the new Master's Keep. Old Forester 3848. Yeah, exactly. 1948. Please try the Sealbach 8-year, Ken Davis. Oh, Ken, if I have time a little bit here at the end, I'll do it, but I need to get to these stag. I got to get to the stag because this is all more high proof stuff. I'm going to fall out of my chair. Okay. That Sealbach 8-year, I might actually save for the fundraiser, but we'll see. I'm going to let this thing cook. I'm going to let that 1924 blend cook. So, all right, this is what we got. We have the 2024 stags, 4 batches of stags, A, B, C, D. And really why I want to do this is because the big question is, has Stagg lost its mojo? Is Stagg going down in quality? Because now they're releasing 4 of them a year. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to when we know how many they're releasing, when they're releasing. They just come out when they come out when it comes to Stagg. So I decided to, I had a gracious patron that offered up all 4 of these, all 4 of the stags for me to taste through blind because I haven't been able to really taste anything except Stagg 24A. So B, C, and D. It seems that what is it? B and B seems to be the last place one, but A and D seem to be kind of the favorites. But I also threw in there my favorite batch of all time, which is batch 12, which is the 132.4 proof one, 132.4, I think. So, yeah, we're gonna. These are all labeled, right? Yeah. All right. So let's mix these up and let's see what we got here. So we are going to see what my rank is for batch 12 and 24 A, B, C, and D here with the Stagg. This should be fun. It's been a while since I've had some Stagg junior-ish, whatever you want to call it. A easily is the best, but 12 will stomp them all, says B Factor. We'll see. This is one of my favorite channels ever. Always good video and a good time on the live stream. I appreciate that, Friar Prop. I appreciate that all you guys watch me on Wednesday nights. It's always a good time. Still have 427 people watching, so we'll see how this goes. This should be interesting. And again, as always, while we're doing this, while I'm tasting through this, if you guys have any questions, it's always a fun time to do some Q&A here while I'm tasting through these. And also, if you have any questions about Blendegeddon, again, in the chat, if anybody has not seen, I have pinned a link on the top of the chat on YouTube. If you would like to donate a bottle for the Nationwide Children's Hospital fundraiser for April 2nd for the finals of Blendegeddon, you could just fill out that form and donate your bottle. Just fill out all the information needed, and when the time comes when we do the fundraiser and we announce the winners, I will contact you with all the information of the winner as we go forward. So if you do decide to donate a bottle, really appreciate it. You don't have to, but if you do, thank you so much. If you'd rather just donate a little bit of money, a lot of money, whatever it is, it's anything is appreciated to help the kids. So let's do this. Okay. 24 Stagg order is D, C, A, and B. Okay, this is what we're working with here. 5 Stagg samples equals dream. All right. Well, you need the stool video after this blind. Awesome idea for the blind. We'll see. All right, let's dive into the first one here. Wait, these are these are marked. Top 5 spring pours. Oh, real quick. You know what? I heard an interesting kind of hypothesis about Wild Turkey lately. It was that the quality on Russell's 10 and Russell's Reserve single barrels have gone up in the last couple of years, while Wild Turkey 101 and Wild Turkey Rare Breed, the quality or the taste profiles, whatever you want to call it, have decreased slightly. What say you? Do you guys agree with that assessment? I'll say this. Wild Turkey 101 has lost the bite that I love that it has. It's still a great pour for $20-something, but it lacks the bite that I used to love that it had, especially the older bottlings. Rare Breed has been kind of all over the map for me as of late, so I'm just curious what you guys think. Bourbon Coach, tell a friend Jason C with a campaign promise of a great bourbon in every pot, 100,000 in the horizon. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Bourbon Coach. You are a scholar and a gentleman. Yeah, you guys will ship the donated bottles to the winners directly once we announce the winners. So agree on 101, disagree on Rare Breed. Okay. Do we ship our donate? Oh, yeah, just Rare Breed. Rare Breed is always a hitter. Definitely the 101 is not the same. I agree. 101 and Rare Breed are dead. The 10 is better than ever. Stagg Junior 13 is my favorite, so I'm betting on 12 personally. I love the 101 Rye, says EMC. Rare Breed duty-free non-chill filter is outstanding. Yes, Ken Davis, it is. Yeah. So that's the going theory, Jay Porter, maybe being stolen from the 8 years that are coming out. So they think that there's less aged stuff maybe going in Rare Breed. Now, cannot confirm or deny that, but that's been kind of what people are saying it could be. I don't know. Would have to ask Bruce that question. Joey Bananas, I haven't tasted the Steel Box 8, but if I have some time, we'll get into that. Would love to watch some field sobriety tests. I don't think you guys realize I take some pretty small sips. I'm not chugging all these each night. Generally, I'll put this into a blend or something afterwards. All right, so first one here, guys. Really good sweetness. Definitely, I always take my Z-Biotics. I definitely get like that signature cherry a little bit here on this Stagg. Really good oak profile. There's definitely a brightness to it, almost coming off slightly youthful, which is interesting. Let's give this one a try. Here we go. Oh, the palate's good. It's got that grapey, like chocolate covered grapes. Well, that started off well. That's good. Good spice. Good proof as always on these. Damn. First one coming in hot. Literally coming in hot. Youthful. Jason sees blood is a good fire starter. Yeah, right now it is. The only 101 I've ever bought was last year, and I was not happy with it. Use it as a cocktail whiskey to kill the bottle. Yeah. Wow. Second sip got even sweeter. Now we're getting into almost like a gummy bear, grapey. Okay, Stagg, I see you. That is really good. The latest early times are a drain pour. Very disappointing. Yep. You know what? I know I've mentioned this before, but the most disappointing bottle to me in the last couple years has been Old Forester 1920. I just, every time I go back to it, it lost its beautiful essence that I love. The chocolate and the cherry has made way for just straight up banana. And while I know that's an Old Forester flavor profile, I miss those old school Old Forester 1920s that you really did feel like you were drinking something from Prohibition from back in the day. There was bite to it. It had flavor. And now it just is kind of like another banana driven Old Forester with just a little bit of a higher proof. There's nothing different about it. And that kind of just disappointing to me. Absolutely, JG. Nail polish remover. That's the acetone note I always call out from. I have ruined people with Old Forester. I got people messaging me like, damn you and the acetone. That's all I smell and taste now. I'm like, sorry, but it is. I agree that the rare breed has declined. I bought a bottle last week after not having it for quite some time. I'm a little disappointed. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, Robert. All right, let's go to this one here. Yeah, it's okay, Greg. You're good. All right, so this one's a little bit less sweet. It's a little bit more oak driven. A little bit more of a chocolate in here, like a milk chocolate, not a dark chocolate. Kind of getting like a jalapeno pepper in here a little bit, or a like a chipotle pepper, like a sweet pepper that has some heat to it. There's a little bit of the sweet there, but I get a nice little spice on this one. Let's see what it does on the palate. Ooh. That one got dark and funky, and I'm kind of here for it. So the first two have already proven to be wildly different. This first one is very sweet forward. This is the profile I think a lot of people love in Stagg. This one gives you more of an oak, funky, sweet. What's that flavor I'm kind of picking up here? Sounds like A, says Night Method. Oh, man. I like that even more. You know why? It's viscous. It's heavier on the palate. It's got there's like a heaviness to it. And I feel like it's syrupy sweet, but it has a little bit of the oak funk on the back end too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these sound better than ECBP already. Yeah, kind of. The first two, I think I would take over at least the last couple batches of ECBP for sure. Problem is like you can't find Stagg still to this day. It's tough to you got to do some work. You got to do the legwork to find Stagg. Man, I like the second one a lot. That's good. 1920 is $50 where I shop. It's still hard to beat at that price. Yeah, Josh Combe, I get it. It's a great proof point. It's not that the whiskey is bad. I just think that the flavor profile has kind of flipped on it. And I think what made 1920 so special, it just kind of got lost within all the banana-esque acetone flavors that Old Forester is known for. And I wish it just kind of kept its old soul that it used to have. But the bourbon just finished in balsamic Brazilian. Oh, nice, Michael. Yeah, I heard about that pick. We did a double oak pick with Whiskey War, and yeah, I love this hat. I get compliments on this hat all the time. Like, make whiskey, not war. So it's cool. I'm gonna take one more sip of the second one because it's just good. Just say, Jason. See, she's thick. She's definitely a little thick. Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of a funkiness on the back end, but I don't mind it. It keeps the needle on the record. Keeps playing. I love it. Never seen Stagg in the wild in Iowa. What did I want to show you guys real quick? Did I have that one graphic up? Maybe not. Oh, never mind. I thought I was gonna. You guys know about the new shirts. I have the new Mash and Drum shirts for sale. With it's not about the whiskeys, people you share with on the back. So yeah. I wanted the link is down below in the chat. Just wanted to mention that, guys. People have been getting the shirts, been loving them. So yep, doing all that. I know some people have mentioned it, so we might as well just play it here real quick. This is me falling after a bunch of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I fell. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's get to the third one here. Jason Kurt, 1910 is still good. The 1920 not really, says Richie Z. I might agree with that, Richie. Yes, the fall. My man didn't have the right shoes on that night. I did not. I don't even think I was wearing shoes. I stepped on. I need an updated falling video every week now. Yeah, right. Funny every time. Been there. Okay. Man, this one's pretty nice too. This one is bringing me back more towards the first one. We're getting a little bit of a sweeter profile. Top 10 bourbon 2 minute. The grin at the end makes it. Yeah. I just, you just laying on the floor kind of laughing. Like, what just happened right now? All right, let me get into this one here. We're back to candy on this one. But this is more of a straight up powdered sugar sweetness on the third one. Whatever this is, it just has a, yeah, it's almost like your bourbon was spiked with just straight up sugar. That's some fat kid whiskey right there. Love this. Cherry or grape for sure on the first one. I got a good amount of the cherry or grape. Not so much on the second one. The second one is funky, man, but in a good way. I feel like the budget bourbon baton has been passed to some of the newer distilleries. Bardstown, Green River, New Riff are making great stuff that competes with legacy and a lot of times better, says James Farley. I completely agree, James. Jason, what year was I fell? That was 2019, I believe, when I fell off my chair pretty hard. Ooh. Yeah, that is fat kid whiskey. That is so good. I'm going to have to compare 1 and 3 because they both have a really good amount of sweetness. I think B right now is the outlier. Whatever this second one is, that's the outlier. That's the one that's really funky and rich. Probably to me has the best texture. All right, let's go to this one here. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. I'll have another of that. Wow. The oak on this is beautiful. Oh. Man, you talk about some, oh my gosh. This is chocolate covered cherries for days with some sweet oak. Yeah, I can just, yeah, I could, this is a candle. This is a candle nose. Oh my gosh. So, man, let me go back to B here real quick. You know what? B is actually not that far off from this one. And when I say B, remember, I'm just saying in the glass order. It's not what the actual batches are. We'll find out what they are here soon. Was that video in the same room? It's crazy how you went from one barrel to what looks like now. Yeah, it's the same room. It's the same room. You kind of see the evolution of the whiskey room. If I fell now in the same spot, I would literally break like 100 bottles. It'd be bad. It'd be a complete mess. Like you might see me fall, and then like this whole shelf falls on top of me, and there could be like a heavy injury happening. Like when I did that back in the day, this was pretty open. This was a pretty open space. Now, if I fell, yeah, things are happening. Things are activating. Things are falling on my head. It's gonna be bad. If D is 12, nobody will be surprised. AB. Oh, if you're saying if this is 12, yeah, maybe we'll see. All right. That's so good. That probably is my favorite so far. This, man, this is in such perfect balance. It's got sweet, it's got oak, it's got texture, it's got all the things that make a really good stag. But I think B. I think B is close to D in some ways. B has a little bit more of a funk on it, which I don't mind. And A and C are the fat kid whiskeys to me. They're the sweet bombs. So yeah, interestingly enough. We have two kind of in the same category, and then these two are kind of in the same category. So interesting. All right, let's go to the last one here. It's C/D/AB. Let's go to this one here. This one is probably my least favorite nose so far, this last one. There's definitely some sweet here, but not a ton of I would say, if we're kind of categorizing these, I would lean this one into the more sweeter category again. Why is D always the favorite? I don't know. It just works out that way. Just always somehow works out that way. I'm gonna sip of that one. As you could see, that was puzzling to me. That sip, I didn't know where to go with that one. Okay, yeah, I would put this in the sweet category, but I don't think it has the amped up sweetness that A and C do. C do isn't that water skis? C do. Anyway, this I would put in the realm of A and C, but I don't think it lives up to A and C. And this one might be my least favorite so far. Man, those gurgles and smacks on the mic are wicked. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. Am I gurgling and smacking a little too close to the mic? My bad. The last one is 24B. Calling it now, says CJ Miller. Okay. So E is just a little husky versus full fat kid. Yes, Gary. Oh man. Okay. So let's kind of parse this out. This last one is definitely my least favorite. So I'm going to kind of put that to the side. I'm really going to focus on these four. It's really going to come down to these two versus these two. And so what I want to do is get the best of the sweet and then the best of kind of the darker, richer, more balanced ones, and then take my favorite from those and then go head to head and see what my favorites are. So let me start with A and C and see what we get here. I'm not fat. I'm big bone. We still have 425 people watching. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Absolutely appreciate it. Love it. Thank you so much. Let me go to the charity. Let's see. As far as the charity bottle submission form, we already have 5 responses. So we have 5 people that have donated bottles or donated something so far. So thank you guys so much. Again, the link is on the top of the chat if you want to donate anything to the charity bottle stream to help the Nationwide Children's Hospital. Thank you guys so much. The first one's really good. Let's go to number 3 here. Oh man, this smells so good. I don't know which one I like more. They're different, but they're both very sweet. Just poured some 24C. Some says Virginia Rose. The bourbon nut has 24C as well. Man, you guys all like the C. You like the C, I see. I see like the fat kid whiskey, and I want to do this. Snack time! Okay. Back to the comments. Top 5 fat kids. Chunk from Goonies has to be number 1. Come on, Chunk from Goonies, best fat kid. Actually, no, he's number 2. You know who I liked even more? Porter from Ham from The Sandlot. He's my number 1 fat kid. Number 1 fat kid is Ham. All right. I think I like C over A. C just is a little bit more richer. It's a little darker. It still has that sweetness. A has a really nice sweetness too, but I think it's a little bit on the lighter side. I think this has a little bit of a deeper, darker profile to go along with the sweetness. So I'm going to keep that as my kind of my number 1 here. So let me write some of this down because I'm going to get I thought I was your number 1 fat kid. Yeah, Ben, you're my number 1 fat kid. You're my number 1 whiskey tube fat kid. All right, so D is my E, A, B, C, D, E. So E was my last place. Out of A and C, I like C more. Now I'm gonna go between B and the D and see what we get. Which one I like more here? Oh man, these are both fantastic. God, this one almost feels like it's finished. Like I'm getting like an Armagnac-y, grapey. Oh, it's so funky good. But I feel like I get that in B too. You're gonna upset Marty. Marty, you're my other favorite fat kid. Pulling for the upset, says Truman. What would be the upset, Truman? If somehow batch 12 like loses to one of the newer ones, that would be the upset. Oh, these are so good. These might be my favorite overall. These might be 1 and 2. 1A, whatever you want to call it. I think they have the chops to be the top 2 right now. So that's what it's going to be. So I'm going to take, so I have this one, I have this one. So C, I don't want to mess this up. So C I liked over A. So C I'm going to put here. A was here. And then this is my last place. It's between these 2 for the number 1 slot. So let's see what we have here. Man, these are close. Oh, this is so grapey good. I mean, is there like chocolate covered blueberry grape? It's Armagnac-y almost. Then we have this one. Which has kind of the same thing going on. I know. I think these two are well beyond these three as far as you get depth of flavor. These are very good. They're sweet. They're what you expect in Stagg, but these two have a depth to it that the other three don't. All right. Last sip here. I got to make a choice. I think I like this one a little bit more. It's got a really long finish on it. I think I'm going to keep this one here. This is my one. This is basically 1A, but delicious. And then you have these three. Let's find out what these are. Only upset that is going to happen is Jason's stomach later. I'll be all right. JG says, sweet, just ordered the new Mass and Drum shirt in blue. Awesome, man. Thanks, JG. All right, 24D, 24A, 24B, 24C. But you got to remember, we got batch 12 in there too. I'm not sure. I think one of these has to be the batch 12. These two are actually really close, which is kind of cool. So, you're going to finish. No, I'm going to blend all of these right when we're about to sign off here. All right, let's see what was last place. This was, you guys called it in the chat. It is Stagg 24B. Stagg 24B was the last place one. So if you guys called it, you guys were right. So you guys know your Stagg. Congrats. Now we get to the two sweet ones. These are the two sweeties that I liked. I liked C over A. So this was actually sample A, which we had. CJ Miller says, I knew it. This is letter C. So this is 24C for Stagg. That got second to last, I guess, if you want to call it that. Then we got third place here, which was 24A. So 24A, 24C, and then 24B, which leaves D and batch 12. So you guys in the chat calling out that you thought I would like 24D the most, you're not wrong. It is really close here to the batch 12, and that makes me so happy. And let me just say this, for anyone thinking that there's a decline in Stagg, no. I don't believe that theory. I don't think there's ever really going to be a decline. I just think that different batches are different. Different strokes for different folks. And this blind proves it. You're going to have ones that are sweeter. You're going to have ones that are a little bit deeper and richer and darker. Ones that are more fat kid whiskeys versus ones that are more balanced. So don't think the D can take down the 12. 24D, best of the year. 23B sucked, just saying. 23B sucked. Wait, 24B or 23B, you're saying? And abortive romance. You're saying 23B sucked? He likes 24B because of the oak. Yeah, I wasn't really digging B. Oh, 23. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see which took what. These were very close. Are you shitting me? My favorite one in this blind was 24D. 24D actually, just by a hair, took out my batch 12. I'll tell you what, batch 12 has the best nose out of all of them, but 24D has something on the palate that I absolutely love. Dude, I'm kind of floored right now. Like I just like fell again. Holy crap. The D always wins. You're right. That's surprising. That is really surprising to me. I got to tell you though, 24D is the closest thing that obviously that I've tasted to batch 12 in a very long time. And that's good for Stagg. If you're still pumping out batches that can get close to that, great. Now 24D is going to blow up. Oh my gosh. Golly, that's surprising. I can't believe it. I didn't think any new batch was going to take down 12. I mean, it took down 12, but by a hair. I just think it has actually a longer finish than 12 does. I think overall 12 on the nose is better than D, but D has just something on the palate that just goes. That's really cool, man. Yeah, Robert Schmur, the website is Spread Shop. So, yep, 24B for sale, says Larry 3R. Larry's giving up his 24B. Yeah, again, A and C to me are the sweeter profiles. If you like those candy notes that you get from Stagg, it's going to be C and it's going to be A. As far as what we're talking about with those deeper, richer balance notes, it's 24D all day long. D for all day long, baby. Awesome. All right, let's make the Megatron blend. Let's blend them all. We'll do one last cheers for the night. And yeah, we'll be good to go. We're going to let that mingle for a little bit. This was a really fun blind. It's always good to taste some Staggs with everybody. Guys, next week I will get to the seal box. I appreciate it. Joey Banana says, love the D, great blind. Thank you so much. When you have the 224Cs but no Ds, darn it, says CJ Miller. Hey, C did pretty good. Again, those are the sweeter profiles. So versus Smoke Eye Hill. Yeah, no. Oh my God, the nose on this. This smells like you just opened a pack of Skittles and the rainbow of flavors is coming out. The blend will suck. MG, usually the blend does suck. Proof on D, 168.75 proof. Yeah, the blend's not good. Don't try this at home, kids. And with that said, like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This was a hell of a lot of fun. Glad to be back. I will see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to click the link if you want to donate something for the live stream for the Blend Again and Finals. Guys, thank you so much for the support. If you want, go down the information. In the description of the video, you'll find the link to my shirts and also my new Master Drum glasses. Absolutely love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week right here on the Master Drum. Thanks to all the supporters, the patrons. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.